Welcome back to another live at 5:55 or 2:55 or 12:55 or wherever you are in the world. Welcome to my channel. Today we are going to be talking about being a starseed and means to be a in this video. You know if you're a starseed or not, and we're also going to be talking about the symptoms of w- is this gonna be your last life or not? These are the 2 questions that I get asked all the time. Am I a starseed? And is this it? Is this my last lifetime on planet Earth? So, like I said, by the end of this video, you should have both of those answers. And then we're also going to be talking about being a starseed and the dilemma, the biggest dilemma of being a starseed. So make sure that you tune in to the end of this video to get all of the juicy details. And also make sure you grab a notebook, a pen, and take some notes from today as well so that you can really understand yourself better and then also understand your place in this crazy matrix that we are all living in. And that being said, before we get started, be sure to give this video a thumbs up, like it, share it, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And a quick little heads up, we've got the Galactic Federation Summit coming up on the 11th of September. Lots of amazing questions that are going to be asked. So if you've ever wanted to and you've never been to a summit before and you want to engage and connect with your Starseed family, then definitely check out my monthly Galactic Federation summits. Always a good time. And then this month in September 2023, we've got government conspiracies being covered on the membership site. So definitely go over to the website, elizabethapril.com, and check out all of the brand new video drops that are happening this month in September. About government conspiracies and how to really override some of the fear involved in feeling a little lost and overwhelmed with all of the agendas. Okay, so are you a starseed? Is this your last life? What's going on? And what is the ultimate starseed agenda? So first of all, we need to just define what a starseed is, and then we'll go into all of the symptoms that you may have experienced in your life or may continue experiencing in this lifetime. So my definition of being a starseed is an off-planet soul who consciously chose to volunteer to incarnate on planet Earth in order to help with the shift, the awakening, the ascension, whatever you want to call it. So once again, an off-planet soul who consciously chose to volunteer to incarnate on this planet as a human, to help with the shift, to help with the ascension. You could have chosen this, you know, hundreds of thousands of years ago. You could have chosen this, um, 25 years ago, if you're 25 and this is your first life on planet Earth. You could be a starseed that's been here for a while or a brand new starseed that's here right now. Um, and I have talked about this before, but I'll just briefly mention that there is a difference between star seeds and human souls. I don't really have a name for them, and I don't wanna make it condescending or derogatory at all, but there are souls who essentially have come to planet Earth to really just exist and live in a 3D capacity, and that's what they wanted, and that's all they knew, and maybe they got trapped into karma, and then they're just here, and that's it. Starseeds specifically have come here to help, from other places, from other dimensions and other planets. So, before we get into all of the main starseed symptoms, and then also, whether or not this is your last life here, I do wanna talk about the starseed dilemma a little bit here. There are many different dilemmas that a starseed will experience and go through just because we are different, and it can be a difficult place to live, as we all know. So the ultimate dilemma that I have observed is that as a starseed, we're here to help, but we feel completely outcasted. We feel completely alone. We feel like, we wanna help, we don't know how to help, we don't know who we are, we don't know why we're here, and it feels like every time we try and assist and help and give back, um, it really just doesn't go our way, or it doesn't align, or you almost overgive and you sacrifice yourself. So, that's the ultimate dilemma, is that you're raring to go, you're here for a reason, but you've lost all of your memories. You've really truly forgotten those original contracts. And that is the biggest dilemma that I have experienced. And there are ways to remember. And we're going to talk about right at the end of this video how you can remember what species you are connected to and also what your soul mission is here on planet Earth. I'll plant a couple of seeds for you about how to really open up to those possibilities and to better understand your purpose here and overcome that dilemma. But for now, let's talk about the main starseed symptoms, that I've observed in other starseeds. Okay, the first one is just in general, you feeling, homesick, just feeling like you're not from here, feeling like this is not your home. Especially as a kid, feeling maybe awkward or uncomfortable, feeling like you don't fit in, especially to friends, family members, and I remember being a kid and, maybe, we camped a lot, so looking up at the stars and just kind of questioning things, feeling this almost sense of longing, to be up in the stars, and so the feeling of being homesick is a really, really big one, for a lot of starseeds. Okay, the next symptom here in being a starseed is, feeling overall frustrated or confused at humanity. So, this could happen in childhood a lot, especially, like, maybe there's temper tantrums, that you had because you just were confused at the way that things were. But this confusion, this frustration will also enter into your adult life as well. And the frustration is really comes down to, I really don't understand why human beings are making these choices. This just doesn't compute. It doesn't make sense to me. These are not logical choices that we're making, and no one seems to question, no one seems to care. So, definitely a frustration or confusion when it comes down to, making observing humanity and trying to figure out why humanity is doing certain things, or as simple as why your mother is doing certain things, or your neighbor is doing certain things. So just an overall frustration and confusion with humanity. Okay, the next symptom here of being a starseed is being wise beyond your years. And there's so many different ways that we can put this. One of the things that I used to hear all the time when I was a kid was that I was an old soul, and my parents would even call me a flower child sometimes, right? That I was born in the wrong decade. Those are the things that I heard when I was younger. And so, if you've ever heard that you're wise beyond your years or that you're a flower child or an old soul, then that's a good indication that you are a starseed and you've got a depth to you that maybe not everyone has. Okay, next symptom here of being a starseed is, uh hold on, I can't even read my own writing. Yeah, okay, we're gonna skip that point for right now. I will come come back around. Okay, so another point is, The feeling like you are here, on a mission or with a purpose. This is probably the number one biggest symptom of being a starseed, and this is why it is such a dilemma to say, "I know I'm here for a reason, I know I'm here for something bigger, but I just simply do not know what that is." And like I said, super, super common and a huge dilemma that a lot of old souls, a lot of starseeds go through. And so with that, feeling like you're here and on a mission, what do I wanna say about this? Um, okay. It's almost like instead of feeling like you're here on a mission and like, "I'm gonna be famous one day." It's not really like that. It's like, "I know I'm here for a reason," and a lot of the time, it's this draw into helping others. And I do wanna mention that another thing that I've observed as far as a dilemma with being a starseed is that there's a dedication to serving humanity. There's a dedication to serving others and being of service. Um and with that, one of the dilemmas that we encounter is overgiving, then completely gassing ourselves out, and I do wanna make mention that when I've channeled people's starseeds past lifetimes off planet Earth, as different beings, it usually comes down to the fact that they are used to being a higher dimensional being who has a greater capacity to give. In so many ways, even though we are these incredible hybrid beings that are capable of so much more than we've ever been taught and we've ever even seen within ourselves, there is also this aspect of being a human that just feels very fragile. Like, we feel very sensitive biologically. There are a lot of environmental factors that can affect us, and I'm not just talking about the chemicals in our food and our air and our water, I'm also talking about energies from other people can really affect us. So I've seen a lot of starseeds volunteer to come to planet Earth, be super pumped up about it, and then give and give and give and give, and totally, burn themselves out, and a lot of the time that results in some sort of, disease or illness, some sort of chronic issue, that arises, and it forces them to slow down and recoup. So that's kind of another part of the dilemma as well is you don't even have to have a defined mission. A lot of the time, we're just here to assist. "Throw me in, coach, wherever you need me, I'm here." Like, I'll show up. But then it also comes down to the fact that you only have so much to give, and you need to be able to receive, whether that be physically or energetically, in order to continue to give. Whereas when you're an angelic being or an etheric being or even just like a higher dimensional being, we just have way more of a capacity to give. So just kind of keeping that in mind as well. And then okay, and then, another point here is naturally connected to extrasensory abilities. Now, you don't have to be okay, I don't wanna say you don't have to be psychic because I believe that we're all psychic and we can all tap in and we're all connected. But when in childhood and then moving into your adulthood, really thinking about maybe you lucid dream a lot. Maybe you get out of your body and astral travel a lot. Maybe you just have an uncanny ability to heal people. Um, you know, so it doesn't have to be like a full-on palm reader or, a clairvoyant. It can be a variety of these extrasensory abilities. Even individuals who are more sensitive to things like sound, more sensitive to energies, people who have a hard time being in large crowds, all a pretty good sign that you're probably a starseed and, you've got those extrasensory abilities, which just in general makes you more sensitive, and especially that empathic quality, really feeling into other people's energies. Okay. Trying to figure out what this point was. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's not coming to me. Like, I usually write down words as codes, and then I can, like, unpack it. But this one, I don't know where I was going with it, so I'll leave that one for now. Um, I'm just gonna tune in and see if there's any other symptoms that I wanna talk about with being Oh, of course. That's what I wrote. It's terrible penmanship, that's what it is. Okay. Yes, the last point, I finally figured it out. Natural belief or connection to aliens. I kept reading the word aliens as others because it really does look like others, and don't even ask me how the word aliens can look like others. Natural belief or connection to aliens. Seriously, just if you're one of those people that someone asks you, "Do you believe in aliens?" and you have no experience with them whatsoever, and you're like, "Yeah, absolutely, for sure. There's gotta be something out there." Or you've just had a natural curiosity or a natural draw to aliens or UFOs, and that resonates with you, once again, pretty good indication that you are a starseed. So I'll just kinda go over the high level ones again. You feel homesick. This doesn't feel like where you belong. You feel frustrated or confused at humanity. You're wise beyond your years or an old soul. You've been told that before. You have a natural belief or connection to aliens, and you feel like you are here on a mission or purpose. And then you also have a connection to extrasensory abilities. So, out of the 6 points, I would say if you got at least 4 of those, then there's a really good chance that you are a starseed. And I've said this before, but I'll say it again, that if you found yourself on this channel, then there's an even better chance that you are a starseed because I set an intention, quite a few years ago that I did not want to teach students. I don't wanna be a teacher for students. I wanted to show up and teach teachers. And specifically, I wanted to be a voice for other starseeds. I wanted to help other starseeds wake up to who they really are and their true potential. And when I set that intention, my entire clientele, when I was taking sessions, my entire community shifted for the better. And so, once again, if you're here, most likely you're a starseed. Okay, so let's get into your last life. Is this your last life? I wanna say that for a lot of starseeds, I would say for the majority of starseeds, this is most likely your last life. And the reason why I say this is because in our lifetime, we are about to see, and we are currently undergoing a shift between the third dimensional reality, the more of the matrix, more of a linear existence, into more of a fifth dimensional reality or a quantum existence. We're seeing that shift right now. We're seeing the dismantling and the crumbling and the breaking down of the old Earth system. So because of that, you decided to volunteer, show up, and incarnate on this planet right here, right now, to observe the shift happening, and then you're like, "Okay, great, party's over, I'm outta here." Um, so a lot of starseeds have come back for this reason in particular, and something that I've channeled from a lot of starseeds is that they could have finished their time on planet Earth many lifetimes ago, but they held back so that they could come back for this. This is the great reset. This is the show. This is all been practicing, we've all been working up, we've all been pushing the boundaries of humanity, all leading up to this right here, right now. And I think, roughly half of star seeds are here just to observe it and be like, "Yeah, like, I helped doing that." And then the other half of the star seeds are here to fight it, to really push those boundaries, to continue to, break on through. And I also wanna mention too, from what I've observed, there are some star seeds that are pumped up, they're raring to go, they're ready to change shit, they're ready for the shift, and then there's once again, probably half the starseeds out there who are freaking tired, who are just done, done. And it's funny because, like, personally, I feel both. I feel like I wanna retire, but also, like, I'm pumped up, I'm ready to go, and, like, I know exactly what I'm here to do. And so, just thinking about it yourself, where do you land on that spectrum? Are you more of the I call it cosmic retirement? Are you just here to sit back and observe and watch the show with your popcorn? Um, or are you here to really fight? Like, do you feel like you're here for action? And I do wanna mention too that the starseeds that are here to just kind of eat the popcorn and watch the show, you're not doing nothing. Your vibration alone is shifting many, many people all around the world. It was actually back in, I wanna say 2015. I went to Hawaii, with 2 other light workers, and we did so much work, so much clearing, especially on the indigenous and sacred land, and, I channeled it, at that within that group that one individual, one soul incarnated on planet Earth at a certain vibration has the capacity to shift the vibration of, I believe the number was like 72,000 people per year. And I think the reason why, I mean, if you think about it, it's like, I don't interact with 72,000 people per year, that's insane. But energy is, it moves through space and time, right? It's a quantum thing. So it's not contained by just who you interact with physically. And so I think that's really powerful. So even if you were to never do or say anything related to your mission, you're making a huge impact, and that's important. And I think even the more we question, the more we open up, the more we awaken, the more we understand the truth here, and then we also neutralize the polarity within ourselves. We're just uploading all of the work that we're doing, all of the shadow work, all of the trauma work, all of the clearing and the healing, all of the neutralizing. We're connected to the consciousness grid of planet Earth, and we are spreading the work that we're doing around to hundreds of thousands of people, in our lifetime, which is incredible. Well, probably millions. So just keeping that in mind. If you're like, "Yep, I'm the retired one," and you're like 18, I totally get it, but you're still here for a reason and you're still doing the work. You wouldn't be here if you weren't here to assist, even if you're tired. All right, so here are the symptoms of this being your last life. Okay, the first one is challenging childhood. And here are some of the things that I put underneath challenging childhood. Abuse. Abuse of any kind. Also another aspect of having a challenging childhood is not fitting in with friends and family and experiencing some form of bullying, mostly because you feel awkward, you feel uncomfortable. Another part of a challenging childhood could be like a little bit of dysmorphia in the way that, like, I don't know who I am. I don't resonate with who I see in the mirror, and sometimes that leads to eating disorders, sometimes that leads to, um, like, gender dysmorphia, sometimes it just leads to just a general confusion of identity, and it's because you just don't feel like fitting in, you don't feel like you're here, you're from here, and then just trauma, is part of childhood. The reason why a lot of starseeds go through challenging childhoods, and this is a huge reason why, or a symptom of this being your very last life, is because we contract pretty much what I've channeled anyway, on average, because everyone's different, at least half of your lifetime, and typically it's always the first half of your lifetime that is completely dedicated to clearing karma. If this is your last go around, then you've got a lot of shit to clear. Most people, most souls do a lot of the clearing karma work in past lifetimes, like leading up to your last life here, but usually always on your very last lifetime, there's a lot of like loose ends to tie up. So you'll have explosive relationships, romantically, friendships, family, just a lot of drama, a lot of karma, a lot of challenge, a lot of trauma, a lot of shit, especially in childhood, so that you can then unpack that trauma, unpack those challenges, later on in life and clear them for good so that you can leave this planet. So that's a really big symptom of, this being your last life. It's definitely not easy, that's for sure. Okay, next symptom I have here of this being your last life is the need for shadow work. So, once again, this ties into having a challenging childhood. Naturally, you're going to be drawn to healing modalities, to shadow work, to even drawn to past lifetimes. If you've ever, wanted to know your past lifetimes or received a past life regression, or maybe you just read past life books or you're into Dolores Cannon or what have you, then it's a good indication that you're drawn to that in order to clear anything else, any other ties that you need to clear to this earth. Okay, next symptom here of it being your last life is life becomes easier and more neutral, once again, penmanship, later on. Life actually becomes easier. So, what I wanna tell you is if you're in the thick of it right now, which, I mean, August was pretty intense. If you're in the thick of it right now with what's going on in your life, then it will get easier. There's a really good chance, like I said, the majority of the starseeds that I meet are about to leave this planet for good, and a whole new, wave of souls that have never been here before, crystalline souls or crystalline children, are coming to planet Earth to, like, take the load off of our backs, but we got some work to do to clear the stuff before then. And then the reason why I typically see the first half challenging, the second half, I don't wanna say, like, really super easy, but it's a bit of, um relaxation. It's basically a bit of enjoyment being a human. It's like, "Well, if this is it, if this is my last go around, eat all of the good food, meet all of the awesome people, speak your truth." Like, no longer be held back by the system, no longer be held back by trauma or identity issues or what have you. Like, just have fun, enjoy it, basically. And so that's typically what I've seen. So once again, if you're in the thick of it, just know that things will lighten up a little bit. Things will get better. Okay. All right. Next symptom here of this being your last life is feeling tired. Just feeling tired of Earth. Just being kind of done with all of it. Do you feel that way? Am I alone in this? No, I don't think so, right? There's just this in general kind of exhaustion that takes place of, "I'm over it. I'm totally over the antics. I'm totally over the shenanigans of planet Earth. I'm ready to move on." Good indication that, yeah, this is gonna be your last life here. If you're, like, raring to go, like, "I am down, I'm ready for the shift, and then I'm, like, good after that," have at it, you know what I mean? Like, take the reins, my friend, take the reins, and you're probably one of those new souls that have never been here before that is just ready to go. Okay, and then last symptom here is, no longer interested in drama, no longer interested in politics, and, like, I was talking to my friend just recently, and he was saying, like, I'm just kind of it wasn't like it's not a giving up energy, it's, um it's a content energy. Let it happen, man. Let it happen. Shit's going down. Just let it happen. Let it unravel. Um, so really in the observer position rather than the change maker position. And, um, and just not really feeding into the drama, not feeding into the politics, not feeding into the agendas or the matrix anymore, and just being more objective, and then also not even wanting the drama or the politics or anything in your life from other people as well. Just not really engaging in that. And it's okay if you're engaged in that right now, It doesn't necessarily mean that this isn't your last life. It just means that at this phase of your life, you're still engaged, and I'm sure at a certain point in your life, you will find more neutrality because you don't okay, the more this is gonna sound really bad, but, like, hear me out. The more you okay, for lack of better words, the more you care, the more entangled you get with this reality, the more likely you are coming back to detangle yourself. So I'm hoping that by the end of this life, you will find a place of neutrality where, you're very content about your life, about the decisions you made, about the way that the world is, and you know that you did your best, and you just didn't you're no longer engaging in the drama. So I have a final message to all of you starseeds, and it's about your mission, it's about your connection to your species. And before we get there, I just want to remind you once again, please be sure to share this video with friends, family members, people you think might be interested in this. Maybe people you know that are questioning, like, why am I here? And, why don't I fit in? And why have I had such a challenging childhood? And what's next for me? Definitely share. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, or follow me on Instagram if you haven't already. And, hopefully, I'll see all of you at the live Galactic Federation Summit happening on September 11th. If not, you can always catch the replay. Either way, it is DNA activating, it's validating, and it allows all of us to know what the hell is actually happening on planet Earth and how we can proceed as starseeds. Like, it is like the 411 every single month of, like, WTF Earth. And a little bit of reassurance from our cosmic friends. And then once again, this month, if you are interested in government conspiracies and different agendas and raising your vibration above fear, then I highly recommend checking out all of the membership content dropping in September, of this year. And yeah, last message here is it's tough. It really is. It really is tough being a starseed. We are a fish out of water here, but you chose this. You are here for a reason, and we need you. So, as I've been saying in the past couple of months, it's go time, my friends. The rest of 2023 is about dealing with the challenge, dealing with the trauma, dealing with the shit, and moving forward into 2024. It's time for action, it's time for manifestation, it's time to fully step in and embrace your role on this planet. Keep in mind that there is an old Earth identity of yourself, there's a 3D version of you, and there is a 5D version of you, there is a new Earth version of you. And right now, most likely for the past couple of years, you have been hopping back and forth between vibrations, between the 5th dimension and the 3rd dimension, the new Earth and the old Earth. And you have seen yourself in the highest and the lowest vibration. And I implore you to take a look at yourself and ask yourself, who do I want to be moving forward? And remember that, yeah, it's tough being a starseed, but you're not alone in this. As a matter of fact, there are a lot more starseeds on planet Earth, and I feel like we're all undercover agents. That's how I truly feel. I feel like I'm just here totally pretending to be this human to help other humans realize that they're also not humans so that we can all move forward and change the world with our abilities, with our powers, with our focus, with our consciousness to really put um to really realign what we value. And if you wanna deepen your understanding of what your mission is, if you wanna deepen your understanding of what species you are connected to, then I have all of that information in my book. If you haven't already read my book, please go check it out. It's called You're Not Dying, You're Just Waking Up. It starts off very light, and it ends with, like, quantum physics and aliens and soul mission and all of that. So I break down the most, common soul missions that starseeds will have on planet Earth, and then I break down the most common species, I think there's 5 or 6, that you would be connected to, and all of the physical attributes you would have in having these different species DNA, and all of the vibrational attributes you would have, or sorry, personality attributes you would have being connected to different species. So you could be, say your mission is a satellite and your your DNA is more reptilian, but your vibration is more Pleiadian. So you're like, I'm a satellite with reptilian DNA and a Pleiadian soul. Like, I mean, it gets pretty crazy, right? So if you really want to deep dive into that, check out my book. I do have an audiobook and a Kindle edition, but if you're like me, I like having a physical book. I like making notes in the physical book, especially in that section. You wanna be, like, highlighting and lining things, and I do believe that opening up to these concepts with mission work and who you're connected to with your species, it immediately opens doors for you so that you can have a better understanding of yourself, and you can move forward with less questions about who you are and what your mission and role is here on planet Earth. So hopefully you feel a little less confused. You feel a little bit more validated as a star seed, and you are ready to take action because, like I said, we need you. And I am very, very happy, pleased. I'm very excited to be in your circle. I'm very excited to have you in my circle and in this community, and I'm ready to go. I'm ready for the shift to happen, and I think we're all getting to that place where we can assist and help out. Thank you all so, so much for being here. Keep up the good work. You are not alone. You are so, so loved. And as always, I will see you in the new Earth frequency. Bye for now.